Hey, what up, everybody? Duck here. Welcome to the stream. We got Bitcoin on the move. Looking good. Looking like it wants to test our range midpoint per last notification. Basically, what we ended up painting in blue, in aqua, is a bullish shark. X, A, B, C, D. Okay, let me make this even more visible here for you. So what we're looking at here is this bullish shark. Let me see. Let me turn that down a bit. And these sharks, they're interesting. Okay, so they have like these two. All right, so before we were up here at this 886, okay? The reason we were at the 886 is because the 886 is where these sharks start, okay? Let me show you. Whoops. Right here, okay? See this 886 line that comes around across here? Now, it oftentimes can reverse there, so we have to regard it, okay? That's why it's there. And if you excuse me, if you fail at this 886, that's where you end up at the 113, okay? And then for sure at this point, you're definitely buying. If you got a 1618 up top and you got a 113 at the bottom, there's nothing left basically, okay? So when we go back over here, we look, we got our 1618 up top, okay? 1618 right up top, and then now we went from the 886, okay, that first area, and we did get this complete 113, okay? 113. Yeah, you wicked a little below that, but it happens. Cascading liquidations, sometimes there's nothing you could do about that, okay? All right, so that being said, when you have these sharks, okay, and you have a 113 get hit like this, you get put into two scenarios, okay? Scenario number one is bearish, okay? Bearish AF. So this is called a bullish shark. Yes, I get it, bullish. All right, and it's reversing to the bullish side, so it's not lying. But problem is, when you fib these things from high to low, when you fib it from high to low, you get this range midpoint right at the 50, or you get the 50 right where our range midpoint is. Let me say it that way. Okay, so the range midpoint comes from the entire structure. Now, just within one pattern, it's completion of a 5-0, hence the 50% fib extension or retracement, in this case extension. We're looking for a bullish shark to morph at the 50 into a bearish 5-0. So price action on this would go up to the 50. Okay, you're on your way there. Okay, so you first go to the 50. There's a nice square up there at 35.5 that we've just been a trouble area. Okay, and then you come right back down on the backside as you morph into the 5-0. So now let me show you that. Okay, what we're talking about there is this. So first you see the shark, X, A, B, C, D, and then as it hits the 50, that's your sell signal on the morph down, okay? I know it's kind of weird because this is not a XABCD, it's an OXABCD, but just don't worry about that. Just picture the shark, XABCD, you run up to the 50, here's the 50 at the range midpoint, and then you sell off, okay? So XABCD, you go up to the 50, you sell off. Now, do you have to sell off right here? Do you absolutely have to just go straight up, straight down? No, but based on price action, look, you started way down here, okay? So by the time you get there, that's 25%, okay? Why can't we come back down and retest the entry point, right? Even a shallower retrace, right? Why not? Why not, right? Of course we can. So we got to watch out for that as a possibility right here. What's our confirmation? Confirmation of that is you not rejecting it, okay? Confirmation is you, instead of rejecting it, you blow through it, you back test it as support, okay, and then you continue on your merry way. That's how you reject the 5-0. And because reason being, this is the trickiest of all the harmonics, okay? There's not a lot of them, okay? We could go through it here. You have a Gartley, you have a bat, you have a butterfly, right? You have a cipher, you have a crab, crab, and you have a shark, okay? That's it. There's not a ton of patterns here that we're concerned with, right? But there is that tricky one, which is the shark. All right, out of all of them, the shark is it has the most variables in its rules, and the easiest to trade is the Gartley. It's most defined in its rules, okay? So yeah, we're dealing right now with the shark though, of course, right? So the shark, not only can it morph into what we just talked about, right? Not only can it run up to the 50 and then sell back off as it morphs into a 5-0 pattern. Okay, not only can it do that, but the shark in itself can act as a harmonic reversal completely. Okay, completely to the upside. All right, now what would that look like? Perfect example is on FTT. Okay, so if we look at FTT, let's take a look at this, and you can see this was a shark, okay? Perfect shark. So let me show you something. This is what Bitcoin could be doing right now, okay? So what happens here on your shark, okay, picture this is Bitcoin. We're dealing with this right now, right? We have it in this aqua color, if that makes you feel better. Okay. All right, so it comes down to this 113 and you're getting that initial reaction. Maybe you double bottom, okay? So we can still double bottom. But when you had this, if you fibbed it, right? If you fibbed it, that 50% was right here, okay? bad drawing there, but right there, okay? That's the 50. See that? The 50. So what happened is you finally double bottomed here, right? Price went up and you hit this 50, right? And you did sell back off. So let's see what that sell off looked like, okay? So let me clean this up a bit just so we can see what's going on here. I'm going to mark that 50 a little more clearly. Okay, so zooming in, we hit the, okay, so picture this is Bitcoin right now. This is the candle we're painting right this very second, okay? You're going to have another like a wick almost to it. You're going to sell back off, and then you're going to finally run up and touch it. Probably bearish divergence right here. Yeah. Bearish divergence right there, because you didn't even paint any more positive momentum. You see that? If this were, it's hard because we're in inverse, right, bro? So anyways, what I'm trying to show you is when you run up to that 50, okay, and you get to this 50% line, we sold back off 50% of the way, okay, at a minimum. So no matter what, even if this is going to act as continuation, you're going to get a reaction at that 50 is what I'm trying to say, okay? Even if this is going to act as continuation and full-blown, the shark is going to act as a harmonic reversal completely to the upside, okay? As it did in this case on FTT. And remember, this was a bearish shark, okay? But okay, so if this is going to act on Bitcoin completely as a bullish reversal, you still had this rejection at the 50 and you sold off 50% of the way, okay? So that being said, let's go back to Bitcoin. Bitcoin. And let's look at this harmonic shark, okay? So even if we are going to sell off here, what we just said was this. Bitcoin's going to run up from the low, and you're going to run up to the midpoint, and you're going to sell off 50% of the way. So you're going to run up, you're going to hit the midpoint, and you're going to sell back off 50% of the way. That's back to 32.3, okay? So don't be alarmed and freak out like, oh no, that was it. So what's going to tell us something there? Again, we need some kind of divergence. Ideally, on something like that, you look for hidden bullish divergence. Right now, we have class A. The hidden failed, but we painted class A bullish anyways, because we continue to drop from here down further. So the hidden failed on that run, but you did paint the class A bullish, okay, when it all was said and done. From your, this negative momentum island was up here, and this current low was here, basically all the way, right? So you have class A bullish divergence, tail end RSI, class A bullish divergence. This is leading to this price action, okay? And you're aiming towards the midpoint. You have a square up right there, okay? You see that square up where, and that resistance, right? What was once resistance, whoops, I didn't want that. What was once resistance is going to act probably as resistance again, okay? Then you're going to sell off this 50% of the way, all right? 32.3. You're going to find, that you paint a higher low, and then when you come back up and test it again, this is where you break. Okay? That's how this would play out if this is bullish. If this is bullish. Again, you need the hidden bullish divergence right there. You have to get it. If you don't get it and you get only bearish convergence here, this is going to fail all the way. And if you lose this low again, this was a morph into a 5-0, and you're wrecked because you've lost everything. You've lost the whole structure, okay? So what would tell us something else is, okay, so coming below this range midpoint and rejecting it, right? All we did was wick below it just slightly, right? And then we were right back up above it. We only spent just a small amount of time below it so far. All right, so right now, next order of business though at this point in time is 35.5. okay, you're currently at 33.5, 33.6. You're up 3.4% on the day. I'll see you right here, okay? Even if this is bearish and we're gonna die, you're still gonna go right there, okay? Lock it in. You're still gonna go reject this previous square up. The exchange will go square up this level, and then they'll put price action back into the hands of market participants, and if there's more sellers than buyers, this is going to sell back off. Then when the hidden bullish divergence paints, we will see how many bids are there to soak it up and confirm it and hold it, because it will paint. It will paint no matter what. It's just a matter of will it invalidate as it continues to sell through. That's what we can't have happen. We need the bids to hold up that area. I mean, of course, there's a chance you just blow right through this, right? And then you don't even need to worry about it because you just straight up do that. So that's, of course, our most bullish scenario, but it's not likely. It's not likely. Not likely. Not likely. Not likely. Nope. Even when you're going to do it, even when you're going to do it, you still had the 50 rejection back up. Okay? You see what we're looking at here? even when you sold off and you double topped up here and we sold off, you still rejected back up a little bit, okay? Even if it was going to continue on its merry way. So Bitcoin, that's what I'm saying. Even if this is going to continue all the way up, okay, to 55, which is what our, I don't want to say expectations, but let's just say that's our plan at the moment, right? And unless basically what would stop us from going to 55 is we reject here, fail, reject, and sell off. Then if it looks like this in like 2 or 3 days from now, I'm pretty much done with 55. Okay, that would be it. I'd be like, okay, time for 20. This is your short for 20k. Double top at resistance of the range low is your green light for 20k. Okay, if you get this, then you can short your ass to 20k. I don't care. I'm not going to stop you. Okay, but if you don't get that rejection of the range low, okay, and all you get is this partial decline and you get hidden bullish divergence, absolutely no shorting right there, okay? We would be longing. 55 would be in our play, okay? Makes sense? So you got some game plan here, right? First order of business, square up. Second order of business, immediately blow through it, but I doubt it. So second order of business, step 2B is sell back off 50% of the way back down, reset the oscillators on the hourly and half hour, low time frame oscillator reset, hidden bullish divergence on the 4 hour at that same 50% level. So you're going to go 50 to 50. Then you're going to start painting this double bottom, okay? So at that point, you're going to have something that looks like this, okay? You're going to have some kind of, you know what I mean? You're going to come up here, you're going to reject, and you're going to sell back off here. So this is where you want to hold, okay? So somewhere here, you're going to have this hidden bullish divergence, okay? Class C hidden. And right here is where you're going to start painting the next harmonic structure, okay? So that is going to now be X, you know, somewhere A, B 50, C 50, 618 maybe even. And then here's your 886 on the way back up, okay? Minimum, this is what you're going to do next, okay? So why are we saying this? Well, let's use this dark blue. Is it good enough? Yeah. Okay. So what is this? This would now be a bearish bat, okay? Bearish bat, 886 on the D, and you have this previous overhead resistance area, okay? So this bearish bat now likely would, after this double bottom, you run up, you double top at the bearish bat. Even if this invalidates and goes into a butterfly, you still get a partial decline back to the range midpoint as support now. Hold, come back up, invalidate the bat. Even though it kind of played out, you still get your B target, you get the SR flip. Now the bat now turns into a morphed butterfly and you go to 1618 48, top of this box. Okay, so we got some work to do, but yeah, right. Okay, so see what happens at 35.6. Ideally, this sells right off from there, and you come right back to 32.3. Okay, so look at this pump right now. Hourly is just pumping. Let me there you go. Yeah, past 2 hours, you're up 10%. Wow. 5.26 on the day, on the new day, but 10% over the past 2 hours because the daily closed in the middle of these past 2 hours. So, looking good. Yeah, we're aiming up here for the look. It's almost like um, inverse head and shoulders esque price action, measured move, where you're taking your measured move from down here, and this could be a little bit lower. Either way, you're basically measuring move to this resistance area, and it's taking you up towards this square up and the range midpoint. Okay, so interesting price action there. Looking good. All right, moving along. ETH, freaking ETH. So Bitcoin just completely nuked everything, right? We said, you know, Bitcoin's, these alts are at the mercy of Bitcoin. Luckily, you're getting some pretty good follow through. And yes, you got this nasty wick. But I mean, where traders settled up was not really out of our range very much. Okay, so that sucks, right? These wicks suck. They're killers. But, I mean, look where price currently is. Right at the entry of this Gartley. So, I mean, that's really unfortunate when you get those slight little invalidations over such a massive structure. And just one little wick ruins this entire thing. Whoops, sorry. You couldn't see it. So this one little wick just ruining this entire structure. It's sad to see, right? And I don't know, maybe this still gets respected. Okay, we got to see how this plays out, right? Maybe this was just a deviation. I don't know, back to the norm, right? Back to where it should have been. Just a quick sweep. That really sucks. But okay, so Ethereum backing out. As long as Bitcoin continues towards that, you know, like we said, if we end up here at this 48, ETH is still going to end up here at this 35. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, even though what happened, the odds are still pretty high that this square up over here gets regarded, and this is where you finally sell back off. But again, that's up to Bitcoin, right? You need this to play out all the way up here, okay, in order to see ETH get up to 35, even possibly 4K, right? But I mean, for ETH, what you really need to see, right, is say we come up and Bitcoin rejects, right, like we just talked about, and you come and you sell back off, and Bitcoin paints that hidden bull, while ETH will probably paint it too, okay? And then here's your double bottom on ETH, right? And then you go back up, and this time you break above, you hold, right? And then this is where you rally, come back down, hold again, rally up above, and finally you break this, okay? Finally, you break this downsloping trend line, okay? That's what we would want to see on ETH, where you're just flipping these levels, right? You're just flipping these levels from resistance into support. What does a square up mean? A square up is like right here, okay? See this area here on ETH? That's where traders, like, price just ran away from the exchange, right? The exchange had to facilitate that. So the exchange wants to push price back up to that square up level once the dust settles down here, right? Once everything kind of settles off, the exchange is trying to push price back to this level to square itself up, because the exchange is also in positions, right? The exchange opens positions also as hedges against its traders, right? You feel like people say, oh, the exchange is trading against me all the time. Well, the exchange has bigger things to worry about than you. The exchange has to worry about the entire market, right? All exchanges as a whole, right? So they all kind of have to play ball with each other, but also be mindful of what players, because sometimes all the whales go to one heavy exchange, right? They'll all go over to Bitfinex or something, and then it's pushing price so hard on its own that the other exchanges have to open positions just to facilitate the price action, because it's gonna go to those prices regardless. If you're a small exchange, I mean, you're not gonna stop shit. You're just gonna be at mercy of the whales, right? And sometimes the exchange itself is a whale. If it's got some squaring up to do, it's gonna put its money and bitcoins to work, and it's going to push price back to where it needs it so it can take the absolute minimal loss and maximize its gain on the liquidations that occurred during the basically this drop, right? A lot of liquidations. Now it's going to go square back up, so it'll get paid on the liquidations and it'll get paid on the square up on its long entry, and it'll take profit. Okay, so the exchanges have quants just trading, and more quants using devs to write algos to do it for them, right? But this is all based on really TA. Put it plain and simple. All right, moving along. ETH BTC hit the range low. Didn't really dump as bad as everything else did. You just kind of held there. Yeah, you sold off a bit, but you were already pretty much there. 886, 786 type deep retracement, right? Cypher Shark-esque price action. So now we'd like to see ETH start to rally and see some price action come back up to these previous resistance areas. You're probably going to reject the first time, partial decline, and then on your next way up you break through, you bounce in that range, and then you finally make your way out of it, right? So we'll see how that works out. Okay, ETH BTC still looking like ETH is going to take over, which is crazy, because if Bitcoin's looking like this, that means the only way that ETH can really take over like this, because your targets would be up here, they'd be the A and the C. Okay, these would be targets. So if those are your targets, in order for ETH BTC to get up here, ETH has to seriously be outperforming Bitcoin. Well, in order for that to be the case, this has to be a Gartley, okay? It just has to be a Gartley. If not, how's that going to be the case, right? It's not. Bitcoin would outperform it, or everything would continue dumping, and this would continue dumping, ideally. Unless Bitcoin's dumping harder than ETH, I guess this can still play out in a dump, but not as likely, right? In order for this to go up, and Bitcoin doing this, I mean, my God, ETH is going to do this fast, is what that's trying to tell us. Because Bitcoin's already going to go up, right? So instead of at a gradual, this is going to go straight up, straight down, straight up, right? So ETH up 5% on the new day. You're already up from the low, 18% from the low, 17.5 really. So again, I mean, for ETH to outperform Bitcoin like that, it has to just completely moon. And what's really critical on ETH is that you have these touch points and you've just never been able to break them. So this is going to be extremely crucial right here, okay? That we break out of that if we want to see this price action continuation to the upside on Russian Ethereum, okay? Moving along to Litecoin. Litecoin, you've sold off and you basically painted a butterfly. Yep, that sucks. Next order of business for Litecoin is you need to get back to this trend line. You need to break it, okay? Back test it as support if you want, but you need to break it. And then you also have this like same overhead resistance. What was once support failed, back tested as resistance, sold off. You're now gonna regard that area again, okay? So you have to be mindful of that little down-sloping, broadening wedgy boy that's going to be developing up in front of you. You may even reject out of it and sell back off 50% of the way, right? from the swing low to what would be your swing high. You get a 50% retracement. Again, look for that hidden bullish divergence, and then you rally to the upside, right? So we'll just have to see how that plays out. On Litecoin, ideally you want to target this, first of all, you're going to target 200, all right? But if you can get through that and regard that as support, that's where you can find yourself in the golden zone, 240 to 300, okay? That would be this green box, the golden retrace zone from your swing high up at Pepe down to the swing low that we just painted. All right, let's maybe adjust that just a tweak, because we did just paint a slightly lower low. So your golden zone would now be here. Okay, it's still 294 to 220 to 294. Basically, it's still right at that 300 area on the top side. Okay, so let's see what Litecoin can do. OMG, same thing. You kind of painted more of a butterfly than a bat at this point. Targets remain the same for this structure. Nothing really changed other than you got a slightly lower low, but you're rallying. You're up 5.5% on the day, and your targets, if this was a butterfly as it is now painted, would still remain at $7 and $8. With your, if you can break above those, right? Ideally, again, you reject here, you sell off. You reject here, you sell off, okay? You paint a double bottom here, you rally. This time you break above it, okay? You paint some kind of head and shoulders right here, and instead of nuking, you pump again, wreck everybody. Rally, pump again. $10 would be that ultimate target 3 area if ETH is going to give you that bullish action, and so is Bitcoin. Again, what would ruin this whole party is Bitcoin just being a 5-0, right, and rejecting all this range low again, getting below 3K again, in regarding this as resistance, is what's going to invalidate everything on every coin we just went over, okay? AVE, textbook shark. That's what this ended up wanting to be. 113. Look at that, okay? Sorry, let me move in. Sorry. 113, shark. That was your low, XABCD. So this is looking for a 50% retracement. Okay, so you're going to rally up to the 50 first. Okay, you're going to rally to the 50. And then when you get here, you're going to sell back off. Okay, you're going to sell back off. But depending how far you sell back off, ideally, again, hidden bullish divergence. And you rally and you continue this party to 400. Okay. If you fail this rally here and this continues to sell off, okay, this is where you got the 5-0. All right, so we don't want the 5-0. We don't want the 5-0 because the 5-0 is going to destroy everything. We want this to continue. Even though you have a partial decline, you just paint a higher low, right? And then that's where we get some new kind of harmonic structure, X, A, B, C, 886, right? So that is how that would be. All right, that's what we want to see have happen. Okay, next, moving into stonks. Start with end phase. Exceeded target 1. Again, we're now painting bearish divergence. So again, it's possible we have a partial decline from high to low. Target, this has already been achieved. Let's say we get a partial decline, 50%, maybe 618, and then we rally again, and that's where we end up at target 2. Okay, so taking some off the board, but leaving some open in case this just continues to go up only. But if this rallies, if this sells back off and we end up painting a hidden bullish divergence on the larger structure and a class A bullish divergence on like the hourly here on the lower, then I'm going to be looking next for 200 as our next order of business there. Okay. All right. So moving along, PayPal. PayPal daily. We're on the daily. Sorry, let me zoom in here. Okay, PayPal daily. Up another 1.3% on the day. Again, just continuing to rally, attempting to get, you know, a little vertical, right? Attempting to go a little vertical. That's what we wanted to see have happen on these assets, right? We're long on, you know, 6-8 assets here on the stonk market, and we wanted to see them go vertical, just like they are doing, right? PayPal's price action here is looking really nice. Next order of business, $300. You're currently sitting at $286.75. Moving along to Tesla. Tesla. I don't know. Musk puts a Z in it. Tesla. It's like a super autistic way of saying Tesla. All right. So you're currently still hanging out at entry, right? All week for the past week of price action, just sitting at entry. But you're above it, so good to see that you're holding above it. Nothing really concerning right now. You are painting this neckline above you, okay? And you have this upsloping trend line also in development. So in theory, right? In theory, you're going to shoot out of this. Gosh darn it, trading view. You're going to shoot out of this. You're going to backtest it as support. And you're going to rally to the high side. 725, okay? So watch Tesla for a 10% day, maybe 2-day, 3-day combo, but look for like 650 to 675 on that initial pump. And then you're going to get a retracement back to this current 6.25 neckline, backtest it as what currently is resistance as support before you get your ultimate rally to 750, 7.25, 750. If you can flip the 7.25 area, that's where we'll see 850, right? Let's just see how this continues to play out. Simp up another 1.4% on the day. Again, you were just hanging out at entry, just like Tesla, and then maybe you get this engulfing candle like you did on Simp today, Synopsys Inc. Technology Service Package Software. Anyways, again, similar price action where you're attempting this vertical ascent. Okay. So maybe, just maybe, this thing really takes off over the next, I don't know, Marin's not in the chat, so we don't have any duration. But let's call it 3 weeks. 3 weeks. 3 weeks. And, whoa, what happened there? There we go. 3 weeks and an additional 10%, okay? On Simp, okay? Simp. This is NEE, Nextera Energy, Wind Energy. You have this resistance line, right? That's been just hanging out there for the time being, right? We're looking to break above that, close this gap. Maybe there's a gap there, 75, run up, close the gap, back test this, what is currently resistance as support, hold, rally, punch above it, back test that current resistance as support, and then continue on to our ultimate target, 13.9%, $83.28 target on Nextera NEE, Nextera Energy. The witch. That witch boycotted Twitter? Yeah, I don't blame her for that. I'm getting there too. Alright, let's see here. So let's see. This is Qualcomm, Electronic Technology, Tech Comms, Equipment, Telecommunications, Qualcomm. I don't know what this shit is. Anyways, this is still hanging out right at entry, right? Just painting this rectangle box of entriness. So we need this to do something, right? Poke at it. If you were a stick, do something. Do something now. Do it right now. Do something. Okay? That's what we need from Qualcomm. You know what? Magic 8 Ball. Is Qualcomm gonna freaking do something or not? Wrecked. Yeah, I mean, that's what I've been talking about myself. This shit just been going sideways for like, I don't know how long, Magic 8 Ball. Too long. 3 weeks. 3 weeks of just sideways chop. Makes me want to, not close it, but it just sucks sometimes. Okay, so moving along. Anyways, QCOM, let's hit this resistance, break above it. Our target's 155, right? Spelunk, SPLK, Spelunk is about to hit our first target today. Up, it was up quite a bit today. You were up 12% on the high. You closed up 11.25. I think you were up even higher. I think you opened down here. Yeah, you were up 16% today. I saw it higher at one point because you closed up 11.25%. So, and you got this wick, right? So you were higher, much higher. You almost hit target 1. Look at that. You almost went into our little circle of trust. Okay, so close, little splunk. So ideally, you have another green day tomorrow. You hit the target, right? Then you sell back off. You fill this gap at 130. Hidden bullish divergence paints. You rally back above target 1 and make your way to target 2. Okay, that's the next order of business for Splunk. Next we have IDEX. This one is just hanging out at entry. I think we've talked about this. Maybe we're on a different time frame. Anyways, yeah, guys, just look at this rounded price action changing in structure. Okay, we had a really nice 3x bullish divergence on the MACD. You also had your tail end RSI bullish divergence. Okay, on the daily. And even the weekly, this looks really good. So yeah, we're basically we are painting this massive overhead kind of. We could even be a bit more conservative if you want. It just makes for a more conservative target, which if the second one, more aggressive, was going to get hit, then of course the conservative one was already first hit, right? Funds would be safe-oo. So we would measure a 40% measured move up to this neckline, and we would clone it and we would paste it up top, right? And then we would take our ray and drag that over, and that's $4, psychological round number. Okay, so if you were not in IDEX already, you can take a trade targeting that level with a 3-to-1 risk to reward. Would look exactly like this. Okay. Stop below 250, current price 285, target $4. That is IDEX, right? This is ducconomics giving you IDEConomics, bringing to you IDEConomics. Next we have Momo, getting some Momo. We're going to pull this one out a bit because we have a massive sharky poo. Okay. So we know that if this was a shark, what would have happened, right? We retrace 50% of the way, 50% of the way, 33.50. Okay, even if this was going to morph into a 5.0, you would do it at the 50% retracement, right? And we would look like this. So if this is the case, well, shit, that looks pretty good to me, like a nice fancy trade. Stop right below the current lows. Let's keep this tight just in case, because this could always go down to a 113. Remember, 113 down here is exactly what we just dealt with on Bitcoin. We're currently at that 886. This is exactly what we just dealt with on Bitcoin. Okay, like to the T. All right, so we don't want to lose that. We just saw why we don't want to lose that, because we'll hit the 113. So let's have a stop right below that, and we'll just simply reload if this does go to the 113. But right now it's looking pretty solid, so this would look ideally something like this. Okay, makes sense, right? Stop above this previous cluster, right? Stop above here. Okay, that is Momo. Let's see if we get build some Momo on Momo and get a rally, right? This moves 135, bro. You get this rally to 33. You're currently at 15. That's 33. That's 135% move. All right. We have a request real quick for TTCF, tattooed chef, the tattooed chef. Well, tattooed chef, you're between a rock and a hard place. Okay, so you have a downsloping, almost 3 falling peaks, right? Peak 1, peak 2. See your peaks. Plump, 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 plump. All right, 3 falling peaks with 3x bearish divergence on the 3-day. That's a lot of 3s. Okay, a lot of 3s. But if I were a bull, I would be looking at the possible higher lows you're also painting, and your momentum is waning. It already kind of did, right? See, you had that, you had it, and you may have missed it. Right? You had it. The entry was here. You had this double bottom, bear class A bullish divergence, double bottom. Okay, and your target may have already been hit, may have just been hit, right? So now you're dealing with this positive momentum, so you need this to sell back off and do something else. Okay, so probably not. You might back test all the way down here, okay, and you need something like this, and then you need to look for this break. Okay, so you might want to wait for this for a long, or this. Okay, let some more data come in here. Let's go to the daily. Ooh, okay. Daily is, let me go back. Daily. On the daily, you're painting hidden bullish divergence on the daily and on the RSI. Okay, so no, RSI convergence, bullish convergence, hidden bullish divergence. This is either way, those are bullish, and they're happening right now. Okay, so we just said maybe you paint this neckline here. Okay, so let's see if we can get this fill here. Fib from low to high, 50, that's a 618. let's go ahead and take a long in this area. And yeah, so long here, you want to break above this, okay? You don't want to fall below this, and you don't want to lose this low, okay? Make sense? TTCF. So this is your entry, and I don't know. Whoops, sorry. It's not what I was trying to do. Stop target would be up here, like 30 bucks. Basically, you'd want to sweep the highs. 30 bucks target. You don't want to lose. You really don't even want to lose 18, but you definitely don't want to lose 16. Target 28. Go from there. Take it from there. Yeah. All right. So cool. Bitcoin continuing to rally again. Everyone says daily looks like trash. I don't know that I feel that way. I feel that your critical is going to be this back test, right? Can we get above it, or are we going to fail, right? If you can get above this, you're going to go up here. All right. So that's 40K. If you get above 40K, I'll see you at 50K. If you reject 40K, I'll see you at freaking 20K. All right. So above 40K, that means we go to 50K. Below 30K, I'll see you at freaking 20K. Even like, yeah, even below 40. Yeah, we'll leave it like that. That's pretty good. Above 40, see at 50. Below 30, see at 20. Alright, fellas. Well, hope you enjoyed the stream. Duck is going to have some dinner. So I'll catch you guys back in the in Discord. Ping me if you got any more further questions. Alright? Peace. Duck out.